he knows uh the US versions, which is basically normal mode and difficult mode, which is the JP Rockman 2 normal difficulty. He has at least a 30 in each times. And he's also familiar with a couple of other randomizers. He's familiar with Z1 Rando and Super Mario Brothers 3 Rando. So we got another racer that has some extensive Mega Man and randomizer knowledge, even though it's not this particular randomizer.
Yo, thanks for the info, Creed. And meanwhile, let's bring these guys up to date. Squid just started his Quickman stage for that easy E-Tank. And it's actually a really bad stage with the Joes. And jveth actually goes for the Kumba decision, going for those easy E-Tanks in middle. See how he fares as well. Good luck to both runners, by the way, and welcome again to another randomizer adventure.
So we got a quick question in the chat asking what's the difference between easy and normal. Technically, it's just the damage that the weapons deal. So it's kind of like the damage dealing differences from normal mode and difficult mode in the US Mega Man 2. It's pretty much equivalent to that. So some enemies will take less damage, but due to the fact that it's a randomizer, in some ways that really doesn't matter. As you can see, the Joe mechs are completely immune to Buster. So wow. That is a really unfortunate situation we got right off the bat.
They're annihilating both of the runners. You can see their Joes in metal and Joes on quick stage as well. So Squid denying the use of that E-Tank. He wants to save it, takes a death, and jveth also denying the E-Tank usage, also taking a death on metal. So this is a really tough seat from what I can see.
So for those that are new to the randomizer and wonder what this game randomizes, it randomizes quite a bit of things. I'm pretty sure our human-based bot Kami Cine, if he's still around, probably posted up his copy pasta. But if that's not the case, then we have randomized weaknesses, randomized bosses, randomized boss AI, randomized weapons you get from bosses, randomized attributes of the weapons you get, randomized music, randomized colors, randomized enemies in each stage, the weaknesses for the enemies, like you see right now that we told you, the Buster is immune to the Joe mechs. It's just a lot of things randomized, even smaller things like the get weapon screen and the intro screens. There is a lot of things randomized that the creator Duckfist has willingly tried to change. Right now we got Squidman taking on Bubbleman, which he takes out quickly. Meanwhile, jveth is having a little bit of trouble with our slow burn Heatman and takes a death.
Yeah, Squid decided to use that E-Tank on Bubble because he was fairly low, but jveth still denying that usage. He's at 0 lives. He doesn't want to use that E-Tank. He wants to get through without using it. That can be smart sometimes, but you're dealing 2 damage. It seems to be a fast pattern Heatman, and he's traveling really awkward. You cannot jump over him. It's really hard to do it without pulse buffers.
So for right now, we got Squidman going through Flashman stage, and the walls are not Buster weak. The walls in this randomizer are always randomized. They always have a randomized weak, and always has a chance to be Buster. Buster is definitely best case scenario. Meanwhile, jveth does finally defeat Heatman, but it took quite a bit of time, so he's set back quite a bit.
Yeah, he just now completed his stage. Meanwhile, Squiddy has absolutely, I think, no troubles with his slippery flash stage, and jveth also goes to flash. So yeah, both of the runners are doing well, considering that was a really Joe-infested start of the run.
Well, they're gonna have to go through Joe's again because they're gonna have to go through each other's stages at some point.
How funny and sad enough. This is the real truth. And let's see. Squidman reaches the door first, and jveth, he's gonna take his Let's hope he's gonna take his second E-Tank and not die, because he's gonna have to take a game over this time. And it's Flash. Are you gonna do it, Creed, or it's gonna be me this time?
So Squidman takes down his second Robot Master, gone his way to his third. jveth is now slowly approaching the fight in Flash Room. Meanwhile, Squidman finds Item 1 in Flash. Pretty good place to find it, but we still don't know what attributes Item 1 has.
Okay, since Easy Danger is not here, is this even randomized?
Yes, it is. Flashman usually has Item 3.
Wow. You proved me wrong there. I'm sad. And seems to be a bat-infested wood, which is really good for our runners. They're not going to use much of their weapons in it. Not the bats usually don't cause that much lag. So Squid going straight to the dogs. He's not going to go for dog scrolls. Instead, he uses air to get rid of those nasty hot dogs. And jveth had to take a game over.
Yeah, that's pretty costly, especially since he made it through the stage completely to the boss fight. Unfortunately, taking the game over. A good point of advice a lot of higher ranking runners will tell you is make sure to take the E-Tanks. Listen to me. E-Tanks. Make sure to take the E-Tanks. Don't take the deaths.
Yeah, in this case scenario, in particular, when you have Metal E-Tank, Flashman, I don't think he had the E-Tank, but just use it, dude. You'll get much more on the way. So it was a, let's say, really bad decision, but yeah, he will make it through. He will make it through. He will get much more E-Tanks and much more lives. Let's hope he doesn't game over again. Meanwhile, Squid almost completed his Woodman stage. He will just need to finish this bottom section.
Meanwhile, jveth is pretty much dragging his legs, taking quite a bit of damage, and yet again skipping the E-Tank as he goes into Flash Room to face his Robot Master. Squidman, on the other hand, is about to face his Robot Master in Woodman's room, and this time we got wood in wood.
The albino wood. It's the dream is alive.
So we pretty much right now we got two Robot Masters that are in their respective boss rooms. Oh, what fun. Gotta love our vanilla stuff.
Is it? Is it really randomized? Yeah.
I'm gonna wind up getting tired of hearing that phrase so much.
He got Atomic Stone.
It's basically a stock phrase at this point.
Sometimes it's really bad, but you have to say it. It's become a meme at this point.
Yeah, Bomberman. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying jveth also finding Item 1 in Flash stage. My fault. Go ahead.
Oh, nah, I wasn't gonna say anything important. I was just calling out the Bomberman 64-second attack music in Metal Man stage, where Squidman will not be zipping because Item 1 is static.
Yeah, that's generally bad if you want a really good speed seed, but still possible to do some cheeky stuff with that, like a Clash Task, and it will help him to traverse with some of the levels, so it's not really that bad. Meanwhile, jveth doing some laser action here and there.
Oh yeah, jveth is going to quick, so he's gonna have to. Oh, they're both going through each other's stages that they already passed through, so it's pretty much Joe and Joe Max round 2 for both of them.
And Squid, now that he has that air shooter, he can dispatch some of those Joes that are really nasty. But yeah, they switched the roles.
Still resorted to taking the E-Tank. He's taking quite a beating. The Joe Mechs are really, if not the hardest hitting enemies in the game, probably aside from Crushers. So he wisely decides to just use the E-Tank and just try to survive and get to the boss door. jveth is having a slightly easier time. He was able to get through the Joe Mechs. Well, I want to say unscathed. He also took a beating, but
oh no!
Oh dear, another one bites the dust, as Queen would say. But yeah, generally, like in vanilla, you don't want to get touched by those. I just personally rather wait the Joe to shoot me, and basically Crusher, Joe's an alien. You don't want to touch all of them.
Squid finding a weakness in the Joe Mechs. One of the vanilla weaknesses, air.
Yeah, but it's still a big, let's say. Sorry, I had some internet issues. It's a big issue because even if you destroy those mechs, there's still Joes that shoot you. So yeah.
me about jveth is taking quick work of Bubble Man, spamming a lot of bubbles, but it really didn't matter all that much. jveth still takes him out pretty easy. Meanwhile, Squidman is about to take on the Robot Master that was in metal, which is heat, which is, as I recall, is a pretty slow burning heat.
Yeah, this heat on a conveyor belt and slow, you literally cannot jump over this guy. You need to pause buffer, or like Squidman did, find his weakness, which this time around is Crash Bomb.
Alright, and that's 3 down for jveth. See, I believe that might be 4 for Squid. It is.
It is indeed 4.
So Squid about a stage ahead, probably courtesy of the game over jveth unfortunately took in Flash. So we'll see how he can, what he can do to save time and catch up.
Yeah, jveth getting out of bit rate lake in Bubble Man, while Squidman's taking on what could be a very tough stage in Airman stage, but fortunately, seem like the enemies in Airman stage are pretty lenient. So Squidman, for the time being, is probably going to have himself a pretty smooth time. jveth forgoes the zip and bubble and decides to walk through the stage normally.
Yeah, he seemed to found his favorite weapon, which is the leaf shield. For now, he's doing a pretty decent job, and Squidman having the fortune to find what seems to be a good bubble that clears most of the stuff in Airman, of course thinking of the Joes.
Yeah,
but yeah. Continue on, Charlie, sorry.
No, I was saying, as soon as you say in good bubble to take care of the robots, or the robot rabbits, robo-rabbits, he's gonna tank off the bubbles on the Joes.
Yes, let's say Bubble is one of the worst weapons in the game, but this time I'm not gonna say good because of memory. I'm gonna say it's acceptable.
I'll just say Bubble is one of the more awkward weapons you can possibly find in a randomizer. It has some weird hitbox properties, and heaven forbid is a wall weakness.
Yeah, with those.
Here we got ourselves a really special airman over here. Underwater, Airman has a really weird property where he sticks to ceilings.
Yeah, he uses his Spider-Man powers to stay on the ceiling.
But looks like his own weakness is his own weapon is a weakness for him, and it was also a pretty lucky weakness because it goes up vertically. It probably made the fight much easier than it could have been.
Yeah, and at this point, you see runners adapt. You will see their adaptations, like instantly Airman sticks to the ceiling, the guy starts to search for air, leaf, metal, whatever they have to kill it vertically and not jump towards the air patterns.
Yeah, and these two guys switched the stages once again. jveth entering Airman stage, which Squidman just completed. Squidman entering Bubble, which jveth just completed, and happened to find item 2 in, so Squidman will be adding that to his arsenal at the end of this stage as well. jveth finding a wood shield weakness for some of these early enemies in Airman screen. And Squid going for the pause buffer zip here right before the checkpoint screen.
He got it. He got it, yeah. And I believe we guys ignore the item too when we see all of our runners use it so much. Unlike in vanilla, item 2 can be really useful in this randomizer in multiple stages as well. I can think of wood, metal, air, bubble, that item 2 can be really useful and save some time. What do you guys think about item 2 in this random?
Item 2 is really good for airman, simply because of the fact that because item 2 is usually vanilla locked by air, having item 2 airman stage is a really big boon, so you can skip a large portion of the stage depending on where you use it. However, due to the fact that it's a randomizer, it also depends on what enemies are in the way that makes item 2 viable or not.
Yeah, you don't know if you're gonna have crushers like in this seed or just some crabs and stuff falling out of the sky. And Squid also takes the Spider-Man air. Let's say spider air. Yeah, okay, that works.
He's a spider air.
I like it, I like it. Yeah, jveth actually, he was cutting it pretty close on health there for a minute, but he's gonna find a big health drop, so that's gonna help him out. He doesn't have any E-tanks, but almost to the boss door himself, going into his next Robot Master, and Squidman takes out Airman, so that should be 5 for Squid, I believe, and jveth heading into his 4th.
Awkwardly enough, as you may guys see, jveth actually found a really good way to farm for ammo and HP, just using that leaf shield, staying in one place and killing those pastes to farm for this much needed health that he was missing.
Yeah,
jveth,
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're on the same wavelength. Go ahead, you got it.
We're on a mental wavelength. It can't be helped. But yeah, jveth was digging for weaknesses and finding that a lot of weapons were pretty much immune to him. Even the weapon that was available that wasn't immune, only did 2 damage, only to find out that Quickman was Buster Soft Weak the whole time.
And meanwhile, Squiddy just go through the lag monster frogs. I don't think he had item 1. It was static. Yeah, it was static, and he doesn't do task zip, so he will do the stage normally as it should be done. So he'll traverse with item 1 here and there, but he has to go through all this lag. So
it's pretty much Crash's lag fest lily pad. For every single frog that's pretty much in this screen, it just slows the stage to a crawl, and jveth is going to eventually figure out the same thing as he goes through Crash as well.
yeah, look at this lag festival phase, dude. It's wow. You can actually count the frames, but sometimes in randomizer, as Creed pointed, you kind of know what's coming. If you see the first screen, he actually knew that there will be a lot of frogs here, so he's prepared, and jveth is prepared as well, and they will continue climbing the regular way.
jveth deciding to destroy all of the lag frog using the tried and true leaf shield that pretty much wastes them all, and you can pretty much move the stage by normal. Unfortunately, he still has another set of frogs to deal with.
That's actually, I respect that decision. That's actually really smart. Sometimes kids can save you that seconds. And you can see he's actually quite fast after destroying those frogs.
So Squidman is really low on life, but yeah, as we expected, he takes the E-Tank, so we're gonna probably expect him to use the E-Tank before he reaches the boss room. Or, well, let's see what he does. Yeah, he's probably gonna wind up using the E-Tank right before the fight begins. I do not expect Squid. Yep, there it is. I don't expect Squidman to go through a boss fight with that low health, especially if you got E-tanks.
A good call, Creed, for sure.
Yeah, Metal Man won't kill him in one shot because he doesn't deal 4 damage, but that's a smart move because he's gonna have to use it eventually. Anyway.
So Squidman takes out Metal Man. jveth is closing in right behind him, but still overall a stage behind due to his unfortunate game over earlier in the race. But he's still in it. There's still a lot of race left. We don't know what's about to come afterwards. Meanwhile, Squidman does find Honor 3 and Crash Stage as he goes to Heatman for his final Robot Master.
And we didn't explain all the items. The places where the guys get the items are randomized. You can even get item 1 from, let's say, Bubble and do this exclusive zip that the guys won't be able to do right now, but they have all the items on Heat, which is not the thing in Vanilla. So yeah, they search for all the items before doing the stages, the hard stages, so they can perform those zips that skip the hard parts. And Squidman actually taking a really unfortunate death there.
Pretty sure it was due to the birds. The PPs that are flying in the sky, in some ways, they despawn enemies. I think when the Big Frog despawned, it reset the lag frames in the room, and he got pretty much just taken to the side of into the lava thanks to Mega Man 2 own vanilla physics.
Yeah, things speed up and slow down at such a tremendous pace. So sometimes you get your tempo or your usual way of doing the stage turned off. So sometimes you fall into the lava. It happens. And he's setting up for this 8 trigger item 3 zip. Meanwhile, jveth is preparing for his hot dog adventure.
Yeah, I've seen other runners handle that different, just jumping over the carrots, but I'd probably do the same as Squidman there, drop down, take care of those robots.
Yeah, I'm thinking it really is not worth trying to dodge the carrots if you're trying to do that on 3-zep. Odds are you're gonna get shot down and get knocked off the item 3. So I don't think it's worth trying to swag it up, trying to dodge the projectiles when you can just get rid of them and do the item 3-zep safely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Creed on that one. Meanwhile, jveth tries an any percent strat. If you guys missed that, he actually killed the first dog and used Flash after to prevent the second dog and the third dog from spawning. But being a randomizer, Flash actually doesn't work that way. It's random. So it actually backfires and he has to kill the dogs again.
Meanwhile, we had a dumb crash over in Squidman's side. The AI for Crashman did not even attack at all, so while I have a different name for him, we're just gonna call him a good old-fashioned dumb crash.
Yes, indeed.
Don't forget that dumb AI changes and refights, and it's not dumb anymore, so we'll see Crash and his beautiful jumping again soon. And it's that time that we play the game. Guess the color of the dragon, guys.
Time to play the game. I will go with green.
What's your choice, Creed? I think I'm gonna go back to my Blue Eyes White Dragon because it's not working out.
I'm gonna say sherbet ice cream.
Sherbet. Again, I haven't eaten that still, and I don't know what that color is. Can you expand a bit?
It's technically a mixture of green, reddish, pink, and yellow, or orange.
So almost Skittles rainbow. Okay, I got it.
Basically. It's pretty much party pastel dragon.
So until we see the dragon, jveth is now entering his last robo, which is heat. He has all the tech needed, like just like Squid. Let's see if he fares well with this lag and those peepees.
Yeah, but the combination of the birds, the frogs, and even the blockies, this stage could still be a potential lag fest. So you still gotta traverse things really careful. Anyway, we're about to have ourselves a dragon sighting on Squidman's side. Let's see what color this big boy is.
I'll go with turquoise or teal for this dragon.
Yeah, it's teal, and we missed it again. Wow.
Yep, we're wrong yet again.
Well, I was gonna say it's kind of a shade of green, but it's not really. It's more close to bluish gray. Teal, of course, turquoise. Not the green that I was looking for. Squidman gonna use green bubbles though to take out this dragon.
James is especially doing the item 3 zep. Probably, gonna go straight to the item 2 and bypass the Yoku blocks, as per expected.
Yep, and it does exactly that. Good job to jveth for dispatching those rabbits and completing the zip. Meanwhile, Squid bustering through the start of the Wily 2. Let's see if he's gonna refill some of his weapons. Yeah, he's gonna do that because he's missing some item 2. He gets the refill, and he's gonna continue with his jetting around the stage.
jveth's about to get his experience with our dumb crash. Wonder if seeing a robot master AI like that would shock your nerves the first time you see it.
Yeah, I generally jump the first time when I see Crash, but when it's dumb like that, it cuts me off guard most of the time. I don't start shooting straight away when I see Crash, so... And it's dumb and weak to Buster, so it's really surprising.
And Squidman must be the big bad wolf because he finds air will blow down the house of the crash walls. Bad pun is bad? Okay, cool.
It looks like we got a pretty nerfed Metal Blade this time. Really slow, only fires once and uses 1 tick every shot, so we got an extremely nerfed Metal Blade this seed.
Yes, you can guys see the old weapon that we all loved, well, most of us loved, and did a very good job on vanilla is now nerfed. So the runners will have to search for alternatives, which Squidman will now do in Pico Pico.
And it's not Buster Week this time, so he's gonna be digging for weaknesses. To remind those that don't know how the randomizer works, for Wily bosses, the Wily bosses always have a chance to be Buster Weak. Otherwise, they are completely immune, and you gotta dig for weapon weaknesses. Right now, we saw that Leaf Shield is a potential weakness, but it doesn't one-shot. Same for Crash, it looks like.
And right it's now, very consuming.
Right, yeah, looks like Squid's gonna go back with the double shot Crash. Like you're saying, Creed double leaf shield worked, but Squid kept fishing, not his weapon of choice. He's gonna have to fish again. I'm gonna bet it's charged heat. Yeah, third one. Seeing that I believe he's used everything else.
And that's really quite tricky because he's now out of Crash. You will actually have to refill that Crash and probably refill that some of that leaf shield in the next stages.
Yeah, weapon conservation is pretty important during these randomizers due to the fact that you don't know what the weaknesses are, and due to the fact that it could actually, the next set of bosses can have the same weaknesses as a weapon that you might have actually used up. You're probably going to need to try to sparingly use and spread out your weaknesses.
And Squid taking the safe route with this E-tank. Meanwhile, jveth is searching, and he found air. And this is really awkward air pattern, so he's gonna have some issues using his last E-tank.
Honestly, he's in a really bad spot right now.
Ooh. Yeah, he was. It's unfortunate. He's gonna get knocked back.
Squidman doing on a 2 strats, but gets caught off guard by the crabs. Typical crabs. Stay classy.
Yeah, crabs and shrimps, if you don't see them on the stages, you'll see them somewhere around Wily. You will not miss them.
Well, regardless, jveth is going to try again, try to reach the dragon and try to use air. Well, he might not try to use air again. He might try to dig for another weakness. But otherwise, Squidman is still on his way to Guts Tank. And we're going to find out what the Guts Tank is weak to in a quick moment. As he goes through the Chanky Makers and that final blocky.
In the meantime, I think he should search for something else, because this is a really awkward pattern for Dragon fighting. You need to be on the bottom block to do that, and it's Buster weak. Actually, Guts is Buster weak, so Squid fares really well and doesn't have any issues.
I think every seed that we've done so far between our 2 matches, Guts has been Buster weak the entire time, and jveth kissed the dragon.
Pucker up, unfortunately, because that one's gonna take a little bit longer to climb back up again. That dragon, I want to say it's an insta kill if you kiss the dragon.
Yeah, it's an insta kill.
So yeah, you got to be very, very careful when fighting the dragon. Dragon can be, as you can see, very, very rough on players.
There is actually a good visual cue, like where, if you know the game, where the dragons can go to. But sometimes it's nerves, tournament, race, yeah, everything catches up to you. The human factor also is a thing here, so we can cut some slack to jveth. I'm sure he will complete it.
Yes, indeed. I have utmost faith he'll make it through.
So jveth is gonna take another crack at the dragon, a 3rd try, while Squidman is right now going through blue hell. It's like hell has froze over or something.
Froze, but full of fire, guys. Wow. Well, guess he'll have to deal with that on the most dangerous screen that's coming up.
jveth taking another fall on the dragon. The dragon is almost tilting jveth pretty badly. Hopefully he finds a way to recover and tries to use bubble. It's a much easier weakness for the dragon. Did
he actually I have missed because I've watched Squid. Did he actually found that bubble, or he's still
I have not seen jveth try to use bubble yet.
Oh, that's really strange. And Squidman, with some hiccups on the screen, pulls through without dying, which is actually very important, and will go to the hallway next to the bull bean. And well, jveth now has to farm for some ammo, I think. Yeah, ammo, because that item 1 has almost finished and he needs to refill a bit.
Squidman taking a beating on his way to Boo Bean. He's probably gonna pop in another E-tank and then check for weakness. Well, he's gonna check for weaknesses first before popping in the E-tank.
He can take a hit, but unless he wants to lose time Paul's buffering, he needs to use a tank.
For all the stuff that Squidman keep telling him about how it's important to use the E-tank in these kind of situations, this is kind of contradictory to those antidotes.
Yeah, it's definitely faster now using one E-tank and stop pause buffering. Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do type thing. Kappa. No.
Yeah, sometimes it happens when you forget your own stuff.
But you gotta remember, you are in a race. Well, I'm supposing he wants to save the E-tanks just in case, and the pause buffer strat works out for him, not taking any damage on this Pico, or sorry, Boo Beam.
Meanwhile, look around because this is actually, I think, the 4th attempt of jveth. Let's hope he makes it through this time. He's searching for another weakness.
Yeah, he's definitely looking for something else this time.
Oh, he's back again to this air. He's not going through the menus. Well, this hurts, guys. This really hurts. I really sympathize with jveth right now because this is really tough right now for him. Meanwhile, Squid is on refights, doing well with his buster tactics to dispose the robot masters as soon as possible.
If I saw jveth's life count, it looks like he's on his very last life, so this is pretty much his last attempt, at least for this particular game, for the dragon. So unless he figure out Bubbles the weakness, he's gonna have the game over and wind up doing Wally 1 yet again. Meanwhile, Squidman just making mincemeat out of the robot masters as he continue on with his refights.
If someone, as the chat asked, Mega Man X, yes, I believe this is Mega Man X3, if some of the guys know actually what song it is.
Yeah, it's X3, it's Volt Catfish.
Yeah, and I see jveth. Oh, he didn't even make it to the second block that time.
I do believe he's pretty tilted.
Yeah,
but,
probably pretty frustrated about the dragon right now. Unfortunately, he hasn't tried Bubble or Quick. I believe Squidman done it with Bubble. He found air, does indeed hit, so he's been sticking with that. So we'll see, maybe he'll get back up there and either fish some more or make it work with air. Speaking of air, Squidman on the air refight.
And even without the spikes, he's still a good Spider-Man here.
His head is made out of Velcro.
And you can guys see how big the adaptation factor is in this randomizer. Like, you've seen that air works on the dragon, but it's not as good. You need to switch up your game and speed it up with something, because if it's uncomfortable, remove it, use something else. Or otherwise, you will be in a very uncomfortable situation. Meanwhile, Squid with the machine here.
Anyway, looks like we got ourselves the Buster Week machine, so this Wally machine is going to go down very fast. Squidman is going to go on to Wally 6, and odds are, due to the very extensive lead, Squidman is going to take match one of the best of 3.
Yeah, what seems to be a 40 pace for him. Well, I'm gonna wish jveth good luck because he's still struggling, but let's just guess the color of the alien if you guys want to play that minigame.
Purple and green for me. Purple head, green alien.
Gray body, blue head.
I'm gonna guess red until the alien spawns. Let's see, red please? No?
Oh, that's a deep green alien there.
100% green.
Ooh, and jveth slays the dragon this time with air. Good stuff to make it through.
Took quite a bit of beating, but that's the sign of a god that really doesn't give up that easy.
Yeah, he didn't give up and he got rewarded. He defeated the dragon. He can continue now. Meanwhile, I didn't see, but I think this is Crash that's weak.
I think that's wood.
Yeah, that's
Is it Wood Shield? Yeah, it's Wood Shield. Yeah.
Well, regardless of the fact, Squidman finishes the race and completes it with an official SRL time of 39 minutes and 48 seconds. GG to Squidman.
GG's to Squidman, indeed.
GG's for the first win, but we have another race coming, so keep your eyes peeled. As Creed said earlier, everything can happen.
Yes, indeed. Squid taking that first match there, first race. jveth making his way through Wily 2 now. We'll stay with him while Squid gets to take a short break in between the races. Or perhaps jveth might forfeit the seed?
Yes, jveth unfortunately forfeits. The dragon pretty much just wrecked him, so it's not too surprising that he unfortunately decides to forfeit. Just decides to suck it up and just get a new state of mind for the next race.
Exactly, clear your mind. And actually, I would have done the same thing. That's actually a respect towards the other runner as well. He doesn't have to wait for you because you're stubborn to complete the race. So, congrats to him for at least beating that nasty dragon that he got. So, until we prepare for the next race, make sure you guys stay here and watch it. Prepare your food, prepare anything you got, because we're gonna be soon here again. Me, Charlie Boy, and LV Creed.